Okay, so we got some more Italian league, and it's Cisterna versus Trentino, and to my surprise, Cisterna won this, and it's not like Trentino didn't play their guys. Michielletto got 35 swings, Rychlicki got 29, Lavia 24. Like they had their guys in there, but looks like Cisterna won. Cisterna played their single lineup the entire game. Good for them. They played well. I don't know their roster super in depth, but obviously there's some ballers, so we'll check them out. Just watch it. I know this the setter that just served right there. He just got the ace too. Let's see that. Um, got the ace on Micheletto too, but he's an older guy. He's very interesting to watch. I think he makes some really really good decisions. I think him in, like with his wisdom, I think he's a really good setter. He's been in the game for a long time, and he just uses his wisdom really well. And now Micheletto aced twice so far. Now Trentino's back. See if they get one. They find one there. Um, yeah, I think Cisterna's like a kind of a mix between old and young. Like very old, very young. Like the setter, for example, very old. Maybe, but then the rest of look like this guy looks very old. But then it looks like the rest of the guys are kind of younger. Maybe this guy's a little bit older too. But let's see. Look how loaded this middle is here. Okay, he's ready to go anywhere. He's ready to jump anywhere. He's ready to go. That's a good set, but I think he just he tried to go sharp, tried to go low around that block. I don't know if he expected that middle to close that block. Micheletto. Yeah. Micheletto, what a unicorn, man. What a fun player to have in the game. Like he's our Wembenyama. He's just fun to watch. It's crazy some of the stuff he does. And Trentino's a pretty packed roster. They got Lavia, they got Micheletto, the two outsides for oh, what a swing. Really nice. Look at how he lets him reach there. But Lavia and Micheletto are the outsides for the Italian national team. If you didn't know that, they're ballers. Okay, and this setter as well. He's also the backup setter for like right behind Gianelli. With Micheletto being so tall, he's able to be a great help blocker like this. Like, wow, you know. And so that kind of changes their blocking scheme a lot, because it's more like they're aiming for touches like this right here, where it's like he's waiting and then he just looks for one of those touches to keep the ball alive. And like it obviously doesn't work out perfectly there, but I'd say this is a great touch. It slows the ball down a lot. It gives the libero an opportunity to keep that ball alive instead of it just being a kill immediately. And like with how big their blockers are, they can all just stay disciplined and just like wait and then get a bunch of soft touches. Like a lot of stuff like this. Like look at this middle here. He's still so disciplined. He's ready to go anywhere. He's not cheating anywhere. But I assume that this Cisterna setter, is going to start kind of trying to abuse that as much as he can. That's nice. But like yeah, like here's the difference is like Trentino, look at him on setter contact. He's here waiting. Okay, he's not jumping with anyone. But then check on setter contact over here. On setter contact, this guy's getting ready to jump. This guy's maybe helping. He's probably going out here, not even worried about the middle. And then boom, right at the pipe with Micheletto. And like these setters are going to have two different mindsets in this game, okay? Because this middle is going to be disciplined and stuff like that. So you're going to try and run a lot of fast routes, a lot of moving him around, stuff like that, trying to get him to go everywhere. Trying to run it right over top of him with a quick route so that he can't get to it, trying to space him out. But yeah. Just trying to get them in gaps, especially like if you're playing against a disciplined blocker who's just chilling in the middle every time, like he's not following your middle, nothing like that. Run your middle into the gaps, okay? So like run a gap or a three, whatever you call it. Don't run a one right in front of him. Run a push, run something where he's going to be going and drifting into space or jumping into space and getting an opportunity like that, you know? Ooh. But like on a scenario like this setter's not going to jump or not going to set the middle right now because he's going right in front of this guy. If it was slightly over here and he's taking his route right here, maybe he will. But not in a scenario like that where it's like kind of straight up right in front. You know, like with tall blockers like that, you don't want to be doing that. You want to run people into space. So like he runs it here. He misses it, but like same deal. I still stand by what I said. I still think that he's running him right in front of somebody. Obviously, he's not really an option to help. I mean, if he didn't jump inward, which I think he thought he was jumping inward, if he didn't jump away, then it probably would have been off the hands or blocked. But I have no idea. This is brutal. Yeah. And like a player, like someone over here or even Lavia, somebody has to notice that Michielletto is not an option anymore. You know, obviously Michielletto got stuck on the ground. He obviously doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to get stuck on the ground, but it's going to happen. It's volleyball. Some weird plays are going to happen. Also, you might notice that the perspective of my camera is different. My posture is terrible, so I put this on a box. I put it on a crate. Put my computer on a crate so it's way higher. Like that. That's a nice run. I want to see this one more time. Good take by the middle. He's calm. Look at how he's calm through it. He just gets his hands on it. Boom, perfect pass. And then, let's see. Good patience by the middle there. I really like that. He might be a little bit early still, though. He's really early still. I mean, good patience by him. He could have delayed his jump even more, but still. Yeah, he didn't angle enough to make that a perfect pass. But again, like you got to be ready to step in because he's sprinting. The setter is absolutely sprinting towards this ball. Chances are he's not going to be putting up the best ball, so you might as well just step in, take an easy set out of system. And like this is why it's better to have a good set against a triple block than a bad set against a double block or whatever you might be getting. Because Rychlicki, he's an athlete. He can go up, get it at his peak, take a good swing, and he can still get a kill. As long as he's athletic and he stays high and gets himself at his peak, whatever, you know. And like this is what I would argue. This is what he's going to probably do a lot right now is the space. Like you're putting pressure points on with your middle and stuff like that. You know, like if you think about it in chess standards, you know, like you're putting your pawns. I'm not trying to call middles pawns, but just stick with me, okay? You're putting your pawns in certain spots to put pressure in certain ways, you know, and like that's what you want to do with your middles. You're putting your certain pieces. It can be any piece, honestly. You're putting certain pieces where you want them to be, so that the person has to worry about this specific spot or this specific area or this specific lane or whatever it may be. You know, like a rook in a certain file. You know, it's gonna be putting pressure on a certain spot, and like when you have this middle right here, you're putting, look at how he's just biting over here. Because he's running this route right here, he's biting on this part right here. Like he's just like, he's sticking on it. So that means he's leaning over here. His pressure is on the right side of him. So then this guy's probably gonna be alone, you know? Yeah, but also if he's not cheating enough, bang. And if he's still staying down, like if he's not committing, then run that middle, you know? If the middle's not jumping with the middle, run the middle every time you can, because it's, as long as he's getting it at a pretty high point, like unless it's a 7-foot blocker against a 5-foot hitter, then you're probably going to be able to get a good opportunity. And Rychlicki, he's a really good player too. He played at Perugia. Pretty sure he is, actually, I don't know where he's from. Is he from Luxembourg? I don't know. Really, really good serve. In the scene, lefty from Michielletto. You know, I really am surprised that Cisterna won this game. I really am. Nice run. But then once you start putting enough pressure on like you're setting the middle enough where there's enough pressure on it to where they have to jump with you. Boom, you set the pins. It's a one-on-one, easy money. Especially if you want to set something up for later, like if you want to, it's the same deal with chess, if you want to set something up where you want to have a certain piece available and like that's the piece you want to checkmate somebody with, like so you put it in a certain spot, save it for later, So what I'm saying right now is you would run your middle a ton so that they're really scared of the middle, but then late game you want to go against this mismatch. So let's say Michielletto is against this setter here. You want to go against that mismatch late game, run it, like you set the middle earlier in the game, so then late in the game you have that easy mismatch, which is probably the highest chance of a kill, Really nice swing. Just a really nice swing. Honestly, like a fine move by the middle. He might be slightly late, if he's committing, maybe he's slightly late, but it looks like he's waiting. But like, I mean, that's a really nice swing. And again, like I'm kind of saying is with how tall these guys are, like if Gianelli was on this Itas Trentino team, it would pretty much be the Italian national team. But like your height is kind of gonna change your blocking scheme, because like this guy's gonna be much less of a help blocker than Michielletto will be. That's kind of obvious, because his shuffle block, his standing block is so much different than this guy's shuffle block, standing block. Like look at how high he gets on his like half swing move. It's not a bad block move, okay? But then let's see later. I bet you'll get a scenario. You'll see how high Michielletto gets on just a standing block. It's crazy. It looks like Cisterna's just getting some kills, Oh yeah, Michielletto. Bang. Just getting outside of his body. Just reaching away from it, Like look at how he just lets that ball travel further and away from that blocker. The blocker goes in. He just lets that ball keep going and sets it right outside of him. Nobody's getting that. Not a chance. Shoot. I got a pimple in my nose, I think. I mean, look at Micheletto's swing block. He's like at the pin, at the height of the pin right there. That's crazy. And yet the dude's still able to get a really nice kill because he swings high. And that is important. Ooh, Micheletto. Looks like Micheletto's not really passing his best in this game. Yeah. And like, I saw something with David Smith on Instagram. He was talking about how, like, okay, bravo. Like, if a team dimes a ball, okay, bravo. But, like, if you're as a middle, if there's, like, a semi-in-system pass, that's when you run it. That's when you should be owning that net, Like, that's when you should be closing to the pin, putting up saucy blocks, just wrecking everybody. And, I mean, David Smith is one of the best blockers in the world, maybe even of all time, Like, I think maybe his attacking is not as good as other people like Lucas or something like that, or like Jendrik even. But still. Yeah, like, and look at the spacing, because if he is about to commit on this guy, well, let's just say he's committing on this guy, okay? Look at how far away he is from him, okay? So now it's just the pressure is over here because he must have been setting the middle. Pressure's over here, so you go, boom. Where's no pressure? Boom, you get a kill. Easy one-on-one. Rychlicki, one-on-one, it should be an easy kill all day. If you have athletes on your team, it should be a kill if you get them a one-on-one. Maybe 90% of the time. These guys are swinging high, man. These guys are swinging real high. Cisterna's taking some really disciplined swings. They're not bringing it down. They're not letting them get blocked. They're taking some really good disciplined swings. And who is this middle blocker? I don't know who this guy is, the blocker, but I don't know. I'm not minding what I'm seeing from him. I think maybe Rychlicki can help him out a little bit better there. Like, that's not much. That's not much, especially with how big Rychlicki already is, like he can just shuffle block over there. You know. Let's see what happens here. Nah. I mean, he swung high. I'd rather the guy swing out of bounds than swing into the block, like low into the block and get blocked. Obviously, high into the block is better, but dang, that's pretty nice. Really nice, really nice, really nice. And you know, honestly, like this is such a small detail that I'm about to say, but like I feel like if you are setting this ball where you're doing a one hand and this guy's gonna, like, it's tight enough to where this guy's probably gonna jump with you, whatever. You don't want to push this ball if you're setting this route. You don't want to push this ball super far over. Okay, you want to keep it pretty close to you, so then he's able to swing into there. Okay, because this guy just got taken out of the defense pretty much. Okay, you know, so you want to just barely tap it and let the dude take it to the 5. Okay. And I mean, I've said it before too, but if you're getting somebody to jump, then you should try to either set where that dude's helping out, or even better, set where the blocker that just jumped would primarily be. Yeah, this ball's in. That ball's in. Yeah, Michielletto. I mean, he's gonna get that all day. Yeah. All right, so let's see. Lavia tries to go short. It's just an easy ball. That's the thing about the short balls, and that's why I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the short balls. I think I'm a bigger fan of the hybrids and stuff. Really good turn, by the way. Really good swing. Bang. Really nice swing. Look at that one more time. But I'm not as big of a fan of the short serves as the hybrids, because I feel like you can be much more consistently aggressive with a hybrid than with a short serve, because like sometimes you mess up the short serve and it's just a free ball right in somebody's lap, you know, and that's suicide against really good players. But then with the flow, with the hybrid, with the reverse hybrid, I feel like you can, like, even a okay serve is still like a mix of pace, so it's still kind of aggressive, you know. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it just depends on the person. Maybe it just depends on who's more comfortable with what, you know. What the heck happened here? How did he fake him out here? Huh. I do not know what happened with Lavia, but why is he mad, bro? He messed up the block. What are you talking about, brother? What are you talking about? Honestly, if it goes off your block, you know, obviously there's good soft blocks and stuff like that, but like you don't want to. I mean, like it's pretty unpredictable. So like as a defensive player, if I'm playing defense, I'm gonna be just reading where that dude's swinging, and then if it hits your block, then I have to adjust from there. But I have to react to his swing first. You know, I can't wait for him to hit the block, because then if it doesn't hit the block, I might be screwed. You know, I gotta react to the swing. Like if I'm reading that he's gonna swing cross, I gotta read that. You know, I gotta maybe take a step over. I gotta stay balanced, of course. Ooh, but yeah. Hopefully you guys get what I'm saying. Perfect pass. Let's see. Let's go. Good patience by the middle there. Good split step, and it doesn't have to be a crazy block. This is a pretty good block. Okay. Leaves the line open. Middle. You know, and like depending on the middle that you have on your team, leaving the line open could be fine. Some middles are a complete liability if the ball is to them. So like, I don't know, if you know that your middle is serving, maybe just take the line a little bit extra, because most middles aren't really like defensive angels, you know. It's a quick little point right here. Okay, off the block. See, he's ready for the swing, like I was saying, but then he sees that it's over his head. Look how he turns. Okay, he turns and runs. Don't be backpedaling. Don't be running backwards and stuff like that. Turn and run. Okay, because then it turns into a fairly easy ball for him. Oh, and then he goes for the line. Love it. Love that. Let's see what Michielletto does here. OT. Yup. Nice. And again, like, he's deep. He's deep for the swing. And then when it hits off the hands, he has to react to it. You know, it's good reaction, good dig. Whoa. This is a weird route. This is one of the downfalls of having your outside in the 5 is, like, the route is just weird. The route for the pipe is just, it gets weird, you know? Oh, Michielletto, man. That sharp cross by Michielletto, not many people can touch it. Not many people can do anything about it. Block-wise, defensive-wise, not many people can really do much. And also, like, if you see this guy and they're not cheating over, hit it all day, bro. Go against that mouse in the house, bro. Go against that mismatch all day. You know, it all depends on what the pass allows you to do, too. So you have to be ready to adjust right in the moment, you know? Because the ball, the smart choice may change if the ball is 5 feet forward. Like, the pass is 5 feet forward, you know? The perfect ball, or the correct choice might be slightly different, you know? But I've said this before, always be ready just to jump where you are and take a swing. Always be ready for that. Because if he got caught off guard and then, like, this guy's not sure, whatever, and then they put over a free ball, Itas is winning that ball, you know? Because a free ball against Itas is usually death for you. Just sneaks through the block there. Wait, let's see if there's a reason why. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. With a slower ball like this, like if you see someone with their platform, you usually he's not going to set the middle on this. Okay. But I don't know. I mean, you got to be very, very picky with closing the block on balls like that are slow. Because if this is an undisciplined swing, let's be honest, this is an undisciplined swing. Slightly, it's still pretty high. You know, he still swings pretty high because he's a beast. But, like, if he's swinging at this seam, like, I doubt that he sees this seam. Okay, you could easily take care of that swing and get a block off of it. Okay, so you gotta, especially against a team like this, you really need to just take every single opportunity. And to take every single opportunity, that requires discipline, where you're not giving up any points. You're not saying, oh, I was just close, but I didn't do it correctly on this one, you know, but I just got lazy, you know, like if you get lazy for a few points, that could be the entire game, you know. Gabby Garcia coming in for service back. Look at the way he finishes his hands here. I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Interesting. Good swing, though. A reverse flow. If there's a triple block over here, you get a free ball or an overpass, whatever. Yeah, reverse flow, man. Reverse flow. All the guys are over here. Go over here. As long as that guy's an option, you know. Hopefully he will be. Hopefully he's good enough to where he would be an option. But, like, let's look at where the opposing middle is on contact, you know. He's getting set. Look at where he is. Okay, if he goes here again, it's going to be a really, really big double block. Okay. He's a huge human. Those legs are freaking big. But then over here, it's kind of a broken double. Okay, so it's a big difference. Big difference. And now they're going back again. Let's see. And so now he reverses flow again. And again, same thing. They just got a ball over there. So now he goes outside. I think maybe going in the middle would have been nice there, but yeah, went out of bounds. It's still a really good sequence there by that setter. Okay. Really nice. Maybe I'll take maybe I'll make an Instagram reel about that. On the head tap. Oh yeah, that ball's up. Nice, very funny. And like this is the most reverse flow thing he can do right here because I mean all their guys over here. No, he's front row. Let me take a look here. Okay. Bang, bang. Okay, service back. Okay, so he's not an option. Yeah, so like, this is a crazy situation, but he's got a pretty big lane. He's almost at the net, so he doesn't really have much of a lane. He shuffles over, two-step, bang. Yeah, that's nice. Why is he? Oh, for setter dump. See, like, you have to trust your other defenders to be able to cover that setter dump. Like, because here he gets all wonky and then he doesn't get the dig because of it. And that's honestly that's a really good touch on that block. And they probably could have gotten that point if he stays calm, stays disciplined, and then he doesn't lose that point. Look at how he opens his ball, his good spacing from the setter. Really, he has to work hard to get spacing from the setter too. Like that ball's is a fast pass, okay, but then he hustles over there, opens himself up, takes a good rip, takes a good sharp swing. 23-22, Cisterna. Tip. Good reuse. Really nice recycle. Is he back row? What do they call here? Oh, okay. Some people might not know these rules. The libero, if he takes it with his hands in front of the 10-foot line or 3-meter line, then the setter can't attack on it. Small details. It is a rule, however. So like that's why so many liberos just take it with their platform. But also setters need to be aware of that. Liberos need to try and take it with their platform any chance they get. Ooh, my gosh. And like, I mean, I've said this before, you're going to have to set, if you're a setter, you're going to have to set in some weird scenarios, you know, but you're still going to want to be able to, like, he's fully reaching forward, whatever. What are you complaining about? It's fine, man. It's fine. Oh, come on, save it. He saves it. Whoa. Middle freaks out. Now Michielletto just two-step OT. Goes over. Yeah, he's going over everybody. So we got 24-24. I'm pretty sure this is 27-25. I'm assuming Cisterna wins this one again. Good ball. It goes for the reuse, but they pull their hands. Yeah, so like it's good to it's important to know what kind of player you're going against, so like you know what to do in scenarios like that with like triple blocks and stuff like that. So it's good stuff. Reverse flow again. Again, same thing. Okay, it's the same type of sequence. He goes to the outside. Let's see where the middle is. Ball's up. He's literally sprinting from over here to try and get over here. Okay, and now this is where he finds balance. Okay, like it's good for him to get neutral and find balance, but then let's see what kind of block he makes. It's another broken double. But again, he goes to the outside, reverses him again. Come on, man. Reverse flow. 24-24. And it's late game, too. This is a clutch moment. This is a very important moment. And he's just doing what's smart. 25-25. Let's see. Decent pass. Let's see. Chips off the block there. Keeps it alive. Michielletto. Wow. And Michielletto's going for it in this late game. I've told you guys to go for it late game because why would you change something? Why would you start doing something that you don't usually practice? You know, but go for it in these scenarios. Look at Michielletto. He hits a split step here, okay? Even though this guy is facing the outside, it looks like maybe he's probably gonna set the outside, whatever. I'm about to sneeze. He still hits a split step. Just in case, you know? And then they get the kill off of it. Really nice. And if you can be deceptive in a situation like that, you're doing some good stuff. Oh, goodness. And then again, I've said on jousts, if you can get into someone's forearms and stuff, they have no control over the ball anymore. Nothing. They have nothing to do. Reverse flu. Really nice. Let's see. And I don't know. Honestly, I'm a fan of the super high free balls. I'm a big fan of it because it just gives your team time to just reset, figure out what you got to do. Everyone can get back to where they need to be. Maybe you can communicate through some stuff, whatever it may be. But I'm a fan of it. Ooh, see a ball. That one's gone. Yeah, and Itas Trentino. I don't know who this middle is over here, number 4. Huge dude, though. He's a large human. Who is he? Kozamernik. Polish, maybe? I don't know. Big guy. Rychlicki, look at that defense. Small steps, one arm, boom. Puts it tight. I mean, for Michielletto, it's different than a lot of the stuff that we do because, we're not 6'11", lanky lefty. But, like, he waits and then goes up. He waits because, he can pretty much wait and see what they're doing and then react to it because he can get up there so quick. He's pretty much already reaching up there. Gosh, man, that inside, that sharp cross. What did I tell you, man? That's a crazy, crazy swing. Crazy thing to try and defend his sharp cross. This is why I think it's important when you're going float seams to have this guy take this seam, because look at how he's falling away here. He's falling away. All of his momentum is going away from the target, and then he's trying to throw it back with his hands. Like, he's only counting on his hands to have the strength to do it. But then if Michielletto goes towards the ball, let's say ball's here, this is where he would pass it, maybe one frame back, he would probably pass it around here to here. All of his momentum would be going towards the setter at that point, and it's just easy. It's better to dime the ball than make sure Michielletto's good on his route, whatever. Because if you dime the ball, then everybody else is an option. But because of that pass, only Michielletto was an option there, So, yeah, you got to think about that when you think about seams. Whoa, what's happening? Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys. And, I love how tight Itas Trentino's putting these out-of-system balls, Like, for the most part. Obviously, he just missed that one. Good help on the middle. And, yeah, like, I feel like Itas Trentino can really just bunch so well because, they're lanky, they're long, they can make half moves and still be up and get soft blocks for the most part. Good cover by Lavia. Let's see that. And, I think this is something I've struggled with in the past is, like, once I realize that my guy's not getting set, using his left foot there, look how he just jumps off of it and just sprinting over there. And then there's Michielletto up the pipe. Look at the patience. He just walks into it, and then accelerates at this point. Accelerates off of that foot. Look at the change in pace. Okay, look at the change in pace. Okay, let's watch that one more time. Look at the change in pace. Slow, 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 then fast. And like even from this step to this step to this step, there's a change in pace each step. He's going faster every single time. He swung out. Who cares? It's still good stuff. There's still certain stuff. And he was doing it again, like he was approaching again. If you're struggling to hit the pipe, try to wait longer and then accelerate more at the end of your approach. So I feel like that's a big problem with timing is like you're trying to go, and then the setter does a little bit of the setter, the ball's up or down or whatever. And like waiting on it and then being late and then approaching fast at the end of it, it allows you to time it better and like make a more aggressive move, jump higher, do all that stuff. Good by Michielletto to get that. Let's look at that. Sheesh. Just keeping the ball alive. Gotta do what you gotta do. Off the hand, see a ball. Float serve goes right in the platform there. Reverse. Oof, let's see where this ball went. Like you want to time it well, so like sometimes you gotta slow down when you're blocking, but would I rather be early or late as a blocker? I think I'd rather be early, but I don't know. I want whatever you do, make it look really athletic. Whatever you're doing, try to make it look athletic, I feel like that's, I feel like it's a pretty important basic rule to try and live by when you think about volleyball, but It's not always possible, I guess. You're going to do some stuff that looks weird. You're going to do some stuff that looks weird, obviously. You know, everybody does that. I mean, even some of the most athletic guys that you see play volleyball, they do some weird looking stuff, you know. Really nice tip. Really nice. This is why it's good just to miss people high, you know, because he's up here, he can make a choice. And if it's not so high that he has to tip upward, then he can tip downward like that and just dunk it. Good commit. Good stuff. And like when you're taking the angle like that, it's good to, I don't know, you don't want to be covering the extreme angle too much, but like the way your hands should be shaped should be like this. If you're kind of reaching, like if he's hitting the ball here and you're kind of reaching to try and get outside of that ball, look at how his hand is kind of upward, you know, so then it's okay at that point that he gets hit, because then it's a soft block for that middle and that guy's able to just get a dig on it, you know. And again, same type of thing that Michielletto did here. Look at where how his hand is shaped there. You know, if he's underneath the ball, he's going to try and kind of shape upwards, so it's a soft touch. Not an extreme way, though. Like, it's obviously not, like, fully upward like this, but, like, just a slight little bit. Just a slight little bit, so it pops kind of straight up almost. Quick run. Real quick run. Middle gets faked out, but hits it out. We got 12-12. We got some action here. I don't know. I mean, passing floats with my platform. I was trying to do it yesterday. I had some stuff like that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I had some swings like that, or some passes like that. Passing with your platform for floats is not an easy thing to just start doing out of nowhere. And again, he tries to kind of fake him out in that out of system stuff. And like, this is good. Like, this is wonderful. It just kind of checks that middle, keeps him disciplined, makes sure he's not screwing up and just guessing. But again, like, it's a beautiful set. It is not a missed window, okay? Just because you're trying to fake him out doesn't mean you can miss windows. He's still hitting a window, letting that dude get up there and reach, you know? Even Michielletto, even the 6'11 giant, when he's pressing and jousting, look at where he hits these guys, okay? He still lets it drop enough to where he's not going straight into their hands. Because if you're in their hands, they have full control over what they're doing. You know, it's so easy. That's why some of my jousts haven't worked recently. Against Tofta. Maybe just twice. It was a setter. But he was getting his hands on the ball. And like, as a blocker, if you have to drop your hands to get your hands on that ball, you're going to be in a way better position than if you're staying high and then boom, they're swiping off your forearms and stuff like that. Like, when that ball's tight, like, sometimes you're even going to have to lower your hands so that you can get your hands on the ball. You know, like, go like that, you know? Bang. Bang! Really nice swing. Ka-chow. Get sauced on. Get good, kid. Really nice swing. Decent pass. Let's see what they do. Up the pipe. Pipe did not work. Yeah, and honestly, like, I'm not a huge fan of setting the pipe from here. I feel like it loses so much of its value unless you're really, really leading him still. Because if he's leaning backwards still, he loses vision, he loses power, he loses everything. And then it just turns into that. So, like, if you're setting that, it's the same thing about, like, if you're setting a middle from off the net, you want to push them forward. You want to keep them in front of themselves. You know, like, even if you maybe sacrifice a little bit of height for it, I'd rather it be in front of me. You know, so that's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe other people have different opinions on it, but that's my opinion. Ooh. And, you know, Itas, Trentino, when they're flowing like this, there's not much really to do, you know, but Cisterna. And that, yeah, now I think they're blocking really well. They're getting a few blocks. That's what's really contributing to this run right here, but I mean, earlier in the game, they haven't really been getting many blocks. I don't know if that's due to setting or missed windows or what, but Good ball. Again, no matter what you do, finish your hands. Look at how he finishes his hands, holds it a little bit, puts it up there, let it be hittable, you know? Oh, yeah. They're just going back and forth now. I love it. Going back and forth, just taking swings at each other. And this is another thing, when you drop your hands, I mean, I said this about half jumping, but like if he drops his hands, this entire right side of his arm is just free range. It just completely opens up that dude's block to get tooled. And again, same thing though. Like this is a really tough pass for Lavia because all of his momentum is going away from the ball. Okay. But then he's trying to get that ball to go, or like, sorry, all of his momentum's going away from the target, but then he's trying to just use his arms to just shove it back and get that ball back to target. It's a really hard thing to do. So like, I don't know, if you're playing in the 5 spot, if you're Michielletto in this rotation, take that pass. Okay? It's just so much easier. All right, they finished out the third set there. Itas Trentino took care of business. But then it looks like we're going to start getting some more Cisterna. Cisterna's going to win this set. And I don't know what they do. I don't know what they're going to do to win this. But especially after Trentino started heating up their serving pressure and maybe getting more blocks. Looks like they're going to do some interesting routes here. That's what it looks like their solution has been. So it looks like they did the weird thing in this rotation where this guy runs around, this guy passes from the middle, and just pure confusion gets him. Because like with this guy having to go in front of the pipe, and then like I almost discount this guy, you know, because a lot of people aren't able to be on that route and get a good swing off of it when they're doing that type of deal in rotation 1. And that's why the setter used that pipe, because like a lot of the time they're gonna discount him. But obviously they've practiced it, realized that they have that connection, they're fine. He's still an option, you know, he's still able to be used in that rotation. Missed it. Lots of tape serves here. Deep in the court, really nice. Again, swinging deep, even against big blockers, it's going to work. Even if you get missed contact like this, if you're still swinging deep, I think it's still beautiful. Swinging from a high point, swinging deep, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, yep, in that middle. I really like this, man. I really like this run. This isn't Lavia. What are you talking about? This isn't Lavia swinging. That's the middle, you silly geese. What are you talking about? Gualberto. And like, I feel like one of the things that makes this guy a really, really good setter, Baranowicz, is he's just focused on hitting a good window every single time. You know? He's not worried about looking flashy or faking people out. If it calls for him just making sure he's hitting a window, he's going to do it. Okay. Wow. Let's see this. Is this a carry? I think it's fine. Who cares? Let's see how long he has it. Yeah, he's fine. Who cares? It's not like he released it low. It went pretty straight. It is what it is. Michielletto's getting aced. He started the game getting aced. Now he's getting aced in the late third, in the fourth. Not late in the fourth, but in the final set of the game. But I mean, there could be a fifth if, you know, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Good dig. Sitting in there. Look at the palms. Palms are up. He doesn't connect. Okay? He connects his arm. He makes it. He makes a platform, but his hands, he's not focused on closing his hands and like going there. And it's just, you know. Let's see, man. Out of bounds. See a ball. We got a nice serve here. Dime. Over the top. Yep, we're going sharp. Again, sharp or deep, whatever you're doing. If you're swinging from a high point and then either going sharp or deep, you're going to be unstoppable. But if you're hitting it from a high point and then trying to bounce it, or hitting it from a high point and then swinging straight into the 6, come on. Come on, you can't expect to be, oh, why am I not getting kills? Oh, yeah. The dump. The Lepke dump again. Really nice. It has a lefty, too. That's nice. That's good stuff. Oh my gosh. These yawns, man. Over the top, maybe? No? Okay. I mean, yeah, like, this is a nice offense, man. It really is. And, like, broken double. He's getting broken doubles all day. Which, a broken double, most of the time, is pretty much just a solo block. But, yeah, it's good stuff. Good. Michielletto. Good change of pace. He's been hitting a lot of swings. He's been taking a lot of rips. And then he just drops it short. Look at where these guys are at this point. Okay, they're all ready to get hit. Also, it's a good time to do it because this middle here, he was just serving. Okay. Timing. You got to feel the game. You got to kind of be able to think about, okay, what are they thinking about over there? Are they thinking about, oh gosh, he just blasted a few balls at us. I'm scared to get hit, or whatever. You got to kind of try to put yourself in the mind of your opponent if you're thinking of changing the pace. And like setters have to do that constantly. Like you would have to think about, okay, what's the middle focusing on right now? What's he thinking about? What's he gonna do? Great blocks. And this is why you reverse the flow. Okay, middle's over here. He gets a good block, really nice block. Look at how high he's reaching. He's over here. He commits, reaches high, grabs that ball. It's not a stuff block. It's a good block though. And then look at where he is on contact. If he sets Rychlicki here, it's a one-on-one with a much smaller player than Rychlicki. But instead he goes over here. It's a really good double block. Kaplow. Well, yeah, it's a good block, especially to extend your lead. Like that's nice. It's good stuff. Let's see. 2 pass. Good take. Yeah, and like, I don't know, with a smaller blocker like that, abuse him. Try to, like, the smaller blocker's going to have to do some extra stuff to try and, I don't know, take certain things away from you, whatever it may be. Just be smart. And that's kind of a terrible answer of saying just be smart, but, But, like, I don't know, the more you're thinking about volleyball, the more you understand volleyball, the more common sense it just becomes, Like, oh, I have a smaller blocker in front of me. Okay, I'm gonna try and go in front of him. Or, oh, it's a solo block. I'm gonna go cross. Whatever it might be. Again, he tries for the reuse. And then so last time he went for the reuse, it didn't work, and they went down. On this one, obviously, it's a really weird ball. It's coming from a weird angle, but if he's able to take a swing there, you have to be able to assume that they're going to be down and they're going to expect that you're going to do what you did last time, which is reuse it. Try to recycle. Transitioning from there, really impressive. Really impressive that he got the kill. You don't see people really be able to get that much. It's good stuff. We got 19-16 in the 4th. And again, now Michielletto's just being smart. He knows they're thinking, okay, last time he's been swinging some really hard balls. Now he tips to the 5. Well, to the 4, but still. Really nice tip. Good stuff, Michielletto. They did a block switch here. A little block switch action here. Why? Okay, they want Rychlicki in front of him. They want Michielletto in front of him. But who's like between these two guys, who's the guy that's like, okay, we want your block because it's big in front of a certain guy? I assume Michielletto. I don't know. Brought that down. That's why you don't want to be drifting away from the ball. You want to make sure you're getting your feet to the ball and going straight up, because he's slightly past where he needs to be according to this ball, and then it just goes slightly inside of him. Or no, it goes in between his hands, doesn't it? Maybe it's not the worst block, but his hands just went a little bit wide. He suffered for it, sadly. Dang, we got 2020. I assume it's an ace, yeah. 2020 miss serve by Michielletto. How old is Michielletto? Michielletto's what, 22, 23, something like that? Whoa! That was scary. Last time on a triple block, Michielletto tipped there. And you got to know what your teammates are doing too, if you're trying to think about what might be the smart option. If you don't have vision, if you don't see the play already, and you have to assume, because it's like an out of system situation where it's coming from behind you, whatever it might be. You got to kind of think about, okay, what did my teammate do? Did it work? Did it not work? And then play off of that. Play chess. Play chess, not checkers. You've heard that before. Okay, we got a block sub. The middle coming in here to block number 20. And this is important. Okay, so he has to travel further. So it has to be a shuffle and then a swing block move, because it has to be, you have to shuffle, then swing block. That's the footwork. So this is not the right footwork. He just does a pure swing block. Okay. 1, 2. Look where he's jumping from. Okay. And then he has to compensate and close that by reaching over, which means he opens up his right arm too much, which then it goes inside of him. Bang, kill. So it has to be a shuffle and then a swing block. That's the correct footwork for it. Michielletto over the top. Hello. Over the top. When in doubt, put Michielletto high. Let him reach. He's talking a little crap too. Just a little chirps. Some chirps. Over the top. What a time to do it. What a time. And again, like, this is a good guy. You've seen them put a block sub in front of him. Okay. And now, yeah, so you know that this guy's purely focused on him. He's not helping anybody. And you know that he's focused on the middle because you've set the middle a good few times. He's not a help block. This guy's focused on him. If he doesn't focus on him, then it's a solo block. This guy's definitely focused on him, though. Like, he's not helping. Okay? And then, boom. At least a solo. Maybe even a no block like this, And ooh, they get a free ball off of it. It's not even a kill. Good defense. And Itas Trentino is just scrapping right now. They're getting some plays. They're finding a way. Good for them. Oh, and then Rychlicki. Let's see. Rychlicki gets blocked here. Oh. Yeah, if he swings sharp cross or swings down the line here, sharp cross, he gets a kill. And they might win that game. They might go to 5 and then end up winning that game, but Cisterna puts in a blast of a serve. He's mad it's not an ace. Who is this guy? Baranowicz. He hits it as hard as possible. Oh, Michielletto loses the joust. And, I mean, it looks like he gets partially his hand on the ball. But it almost goes underneath. And then he just doesn't press enough. And then he takes a swing. I respect him taking a swing. He tries to go around it. He doesn't go enough angle. It doesn't work out. A really good game, though. Wow. Good for Cisterna. It's a really big underdog win. Thanks for watching, guys.